I've already showed you in Job Search 101 how to use Georgian Connects to actively job search. So if you haven't already watched that video, go and watch that one first. This is Job Search 102. And when you're trying to imagine how to launch a job search, especially if you've never done one like this before, come straight to the student portal. Just to remind you, if you have forgotten how to get to the Co-op and Career Resources on the student portal, click at the top of the page in the student portal, Student Services, and then click Career, Co-op, and Field Placement, and you'll come to this landing page. There's a couple of things I want you to see on this landing page that will help you in having a well-rounded job search. And the most important one is the biggest button, looking for work. We're going to go in here in a moment and explore. But I want you to see the labor market information. I'm just going to show this for the business program. You'll notice when you go into labor market information that there's a link for most programs at Georgian. So let's click USG. You'll notice that all the business programs are listed. So the 3-year, the 2-year, and the non-co-op are listed in here. But what this is telling you, and this is a very general field, a general program. So what this is telling you is a number of things. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see it. What are some sample job titles? Now, if you're in an accounting program or a marketing program, you're going to have a little bit less because the business field is so broad. However, you're going to see some options of things you could job search, job titles you could search for when you're doing your independent job search and you're using different search engines and different job sites. So pick a couple there that you're interested in. It's a good place to start for getting keywords. Also, again, it's broad, but you'll see some ideas of places you could look that might hire a student for a business co-op. And these are just examples. It's a very general list. As you can see, retailers is huge, airlines, huge, but it may still give you some suggestions and ideas, especially if you're not living locally. You're living maybe out of our Simcoe County area, or you might be living even out of province right now, and you're resorting more to the independent job search than using our Georgian Connects listings. The next thing I want you to see in this is called our Grad Fact Sheet, in case you're wondering. The next thing I want you to see is that we have links in all the Grad Fact Sheets to professional associations, and this one here is our own Henry Burnick Entrepreneurship Center that runs our e-co-op. But the top 3 here are professional associations. Not only would it be helpful for you maybe in getting current trends and resources for professional connections and networking, you may be able to join a listserv, an email, newsletter, and you may find they have employment pages as well. So have a look at those just from a career development perspective. You may even be able to participate in professional development opportunities that are given to their members. And often if students join these associations, there's a membership fee, but they usually give quite a discount for students in post-secondary. So check it out if you're interested. All right, so let's go on now back to the home landing page of the Career and Co-op field, and I'm going to go into looking for work. You'll notice Georgian Connects is here, and we've already covered that, but you'll notice that there are multiple spots where you can find job postings, and I'm just going to show you the general job boards. Some of them you know. I already know about Indeed, Beth. I already know about the Job Bank. Yes, and you will see some other ones here as well that maybe you hadn't thought of. Now, often you will find that employers that are using online means to post their jobs will cross-post, so they'll use multiple places. That isn't to say you shouldn't check multiple job boards. Just don't be surprised if you see that. And then you'll see organizations that are large enough, such as the Canadian Armed Forces, Canada's Wonderland, and the hospitals, probably aren't using those online sites like Monster and Indeed because they don't need to, because people go to their websites to find careers. So check them out. Charity Village is all about charitable organizations. I guess it sounds obvious when you think about it, but you'll find opportunities there, some of which are paid and some of which are volunteer. And yes, it is true that co-ops must be paid. However, if you're working for a charitable organization and they can't afford to pay you and there's no grant money, we will work with them to see if we can help them, but we would consider an unpaid co-op for a charitable organization only. You'll notice in here there's some school boards. These are all local. If you're living out of Simcoe County, look in your local school board and look in your local municipal government. Not only your city or town government, but also consider your region or your county government. So lots and lots of resources here. I'm going to go back to looking for work, and we're going to scroll down. So hopefully you're still with me. Let's scroll down until you see there's an information here about scams. Please read it, especially if you're new to Canada, because scams really are a concern more and more with our online situation that we have coming out of COVID. This button here, job search resources. I want to show you a couple of resources, and then I want to show you one other site before I finish. If you're completely new to the job search and completely new to the independent job search, then have a look here at the job search game plan. This is a simple document, just waiting for it to open, that gives you quite, it's a bit slow to open. It gives you quite a lot of helpful information. I'm just waiting while it loads and it's kind of jumping. Looking here in the table of contents, how do I target my resume? I have done a video in this YouTube channel which you can look at. How do I network? That's always hard, especially if you're an introvert and also in an online format. And we're always going to say use LinkedIn, but there are other ways that you can network as well. How do I contact a manager, especially for a company that I want to work for that hasn't posted a position? How can I introduce myself? 30 to 60 seconds is about the length of time you want to spend talking. But if you're able to go to a live career fair or you're in a situation where it's a virtual event, how do I introduce myself? How do I break the ice and get over my nerves? So there's a lot of good advice in here. And it's presented with visuals as well. It's not just reading. Here's a nice visual about your pathway and how you should, sorry that we're missing something as it's downloading, but these are the steps that you should follow. Job search game plan is really helpful and you can just download it from the portal. Okay. Next, let's look at the job search record. So when you're using Indeed or LinkedIn or any of the other resources to job search outside of Georgian Connects, I recommend you use this. You don't need to track your Georgian Connects postings because Georgian Connects automatically does that. And if I go in to find out if you've been doing anything, I can see what you've looked at and I can see what you've applied to. I know it's kind of creepy, but that's the way the system's set up. But I can't see what you've been doing outside of Georgian Connects. It's really a good idea for your own records as well. Write down just these simple things, simple headings. This is just a basic spreadsheet. There's no rocket science here. You can create your own or you can download this one. But what you want to know is what company is it? What was the job? And what happened? What did you submit to them? Did you get an interview or not? Was there any response? If you had an interview, what was the feedback on your interview? And that kind of thing. So next year, when you're applying for your next co-op, you can go back and see, oh, I already applied to this company before, but I didn't get an interview. So this time I'm going to do a better job with my resume. Or you look and see, oh, I had an interview for that position. You probably would remember, but you never know. And especially when you're applying for multiple jobs, same company, and they invite you for an interview, it's also helpful to have a track so you know what you did and when. Okay? So job search record. Just so you know too, in a semester where you were not successful in getting a co-op, and we all hope you would be, however, sometimes that happens, we might ask you to submit this job search tracking sheet as a supplement to what we see in Georgian Connects. So if we're looking for you to have an active job search, this is going to be one of the tools that we'll want you to use. So it's just good to get into the habit of using it. Have a good look around in the job search resources and in looking for work. If you want some extra help with your resume or with writing your cover letter, there's a lot of good content here. But as always, please reach out to your co-op consultant and book an appointment when you're ready to apply for positions. That's why we're here. We can help you. The last resource I want to show you in this video is magnet.today. M-A-G-N-E-T, you can see it right here, but the whatever it's called, the second bit, the word today as in T-O-D-A-Y. You can sign up and create an account as a student. Most of the postings on here are for student work integrated learning. So some of them are co-ops, some of them are not. Some of them might be a couple of hours a week or unpaid. You do have to kind of evaluate whether or not it would be suitable for our co-op requirements, but it's another opportunity, and it is very heavy on student work integrated learning. So most of the jobs you'll find here are intended to be short-term for a semester. I wish you all the best in your independent job search. The main two things I want you to remember is to be well-rounded and use your networks as well. Word of mouth is really important. Don't be shy in telling people you're looking for work. And if you need help, please reach out to your co-op staff.